Took my first breath where the muddy rises, spills into the Gulf of Mexico. The skyline's colored by chemical plants that put bread on the table of the working man, where the working man does his best to provide safety and shelter for kids and a wife, giving a little of a soul every day, making overtime to keep the wolves away. I was barely 13 when the company man tried to dig my daddy's grave. It happened on a French-owned tanker ship, spilling poison in the Galveston Bay.
That boy is hurting, bruh. I can't wait to see you pop that.
Oh man, you gotta drink the juice.
What?
It's Brennan. Just got done doing 14 miles a day, which was like 10 times harder than the 55 we did yesterday for some reason. I was struggling pretty bad. Got a blister the size of Pluto on my foot that I had to get rid of, and it was just 1-8 at Baba Louie. We'll be zeroing tomorrow, and probably just gonna keep on moving, just see what the rest of Massachusetts has to offer. Right on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna sit down tomorrow and gonna do a little video on the Connecticut challenge, man. What went wrong, what went right. I think from both of our perspectives, it would be pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty impressed that I was able to complete that, because 55 miles was no joke, especially over 52 and a half. My bad. 52 and a half miles over like 11,000 feet elevation. It's definitely the most I've ever done physically, probably.
Have you ever been tested that hard in your life?
I don't know, man. Not really, not physically like that. That's definitely for dang sure. But yeah, we'll have to do a sit down video on that. But yeah, we're doing great. Just resting up and ready to get back up. Dad was sick as a dog, but he made it come.
6 foot. I'm Milwaukee. I'm coming to you from the Great Barrington in Massachusetts. It's a pretty interesting town. Some weird earth walkers here. But the food's been pretty good, so.
Heck yeah, dude.
So this is going to be our conclusion video for the Connecticut Challenge. Today is the 18th of June, so we're going to be zeroing here today, just kind of resting up. We did about 14 miles yesterday from that campsite, probably about half a mile after we crossed into the Massachusetts border, into the road that leads up to Great Barrington, Route 7. But yeah, tell them a little bit about what went wrong for you and what went right for you on the Connecticut Challenge.
Well, like 10 miles in, I broke a pole tip again. Thank goodness old Milwaukee had an extra one there when I was able to keep going. But after a while, I didn't even end up using the poles that much. I kind of found out it was a little faster for me to just go without them. But I don't know. I was doing pretty good until around.
What happened 10 miles in, man? That creek crossing?
Oh yeah, I was going over a creek and near a shelter, and just the rock slipped and my whole foot went in. Which is funny because that shoe that was wet, and I just kept it on. It didn't even have the biggest blister of the day. The one that stayed dry ended up having a blister about that big. Maybe we can get an edit in of like that picture. That thing is,
I took a video of it last night.
yeah, well, put a little clip in, and there you go. But yeah, I mean that was probably the worst part of the whole day because it started rubbing around maybe like 18 miles in, real bad, and I was about maybe like 5 miles out when I took my shoes off to look at it. It was pretty bad. It was in a bad spot right there on the sole of my foot. So every time I'd walk, it just squeezed the blister, and it kept getting worse and worse. But honestly, the 55 miles, well, it wasn't too bad. It's just really 52 and a half. My bad. 52 and a half miles wasn't too bad. Honestly, it just really was like a time and a mental thing. The worst part was just all the up and down, I think. But the last mountain was it was just a lot of up, and then it was kind of straight down into Massachusetts. When we got to the campsite, and there were a bunch of other people already there, and I was hurting so bad and so tired. I was struggling. I just couldn't even find the campsite. But the second day was honestly the hardest for me because I was so tired, and I was exhausted that I had to climb down another mountain 14 miles later. It was hot. There was no water, so yeah. But I don't know if I'd recommend the Connecticut Challenge, but it was a fun time. I'd say I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, dude. I think I heard you when you got there said number 2. Bro, I've never felt like this in my life.
I was I got to sit down and I'd like forget something and have to stand back up. My feet were hurting so bad. I was like, I've never felt like this at all. My feet have never felt like this. I couldn't even feel my feet, but I could tell they were hurting, and it was just bad. And the bugs were bothering me. They were just all up on me, and I was just like, my tent was wet when I got there. It was wet when I woke up that morning, so it was a little bit of a struggle coming in there. 11 o'clock at night, cooking dinner and everything, and going to bed. I mean, I ate dinner in my quilt. I got in my tent, had my pot. I went and put my bag in the bear box, and I just said, man, a bear can have my pot if he wants to. I just threw it outside when I was done. I was tired, man. It's funny because I was worried I was keeping him up making food, and he was like, nah, dude, I was asleep. I didn't even hear me. I had my stove on and everything.
That's the thing about that, bro. You'll get the best sleep you'll ever have out on the trail after you push yourself like that. So
I always be waking up around like 12 o'clock usually on the trail, but there was no waking up that day.
Nah, dude. Full night of sleep.
No waking up. I was full on dead. And I woke up to my alarm, and I looked over and I made sure he was still there, and I was like, all right, good. And I woke back up at like 8:30, and I kept looking to make sure he was. It was like, if his tent's not up, then I'm not gonna put mine up yet. And then I rolled back over and it was down. I was like, dang, man, all right, time to go.
We had to get to Great Barrington, bro. We had to beat the heat before climbing those 2 climbs in Massachusetts.
Man, speaking of heat, it's already hot today, and it's going to just keep getting hotter.
Today's like the first day of the heat wave that's coming in, so we'll probably be hiking in it tomorrow, just trying to stay hydrated. But yeah, man, that was a good challenge, man. I took probably about halfway through the 27 mile marker when I ate lunch, and I took my shoes off and just let my feet breathe. I didn't really have any blisters. I also did pop ibuprofen at that point, which really helped me out. Yeah. That was a tough challenge, man, not gonna lie. So kudos to you, man, for wanting to do it too.
Hey man, I couldn't have done it by myself. Man, ain't gonna leave me hanging.
Yeah. What's up? You said what?
I fucking put my hand on you.
Oh, I didn't even see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I have a record of doing that. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of enjoy this 0 day.
Have some salt bath,
Yeah.
get some supplies.
Dude, I will say, like, the last 2 climbs out of Connecticut, Bear Mountain, which is the first, like, it's about 2,300 feet and some change. That was, like, the first 2,000 footer we've seen in a while. And at the end of the day, bro.
That was bad at the end of the day, dude.
But you're, like, you're right there near the end, so you just keep on pushing. I don't know.
It's funny because we learned yesterday from a guy that was taking us in is that the point of Bear Mountain is the highest point in Connecticut, but the top of Bear Mountain is in Massachusetts. So you have to keep going up the mountain in order to get where you're going. It was pretty ridiculous, but I'm glad I made it. You know, I think I was still 8 miles out and there was a shelter and I walked past it and I was like, man, I can stop right now, dude. I can just go to bed. But I was already like 45 miles in. I was just like, gotta keep going. Gotta keep pushing.
That's our highest mileage day right there, man.
And it's gonna stay there.
Yeah.
Cause I ain't doing no more than that.
Yeah,
man,
you're not doing the 4-state challenge. That's where we go past the Massachusetts-Vermont border, and then we go into New Hampshire, and then cross over into Maine. You're not doing that one.
Yeah, I'll meet you there, man.
Totally lying.
I'll meet you there, dude. Oh my goodness. I definitely might go back and do the actual 4-state challenge though. If I could do the 55 miler, then I would see why I could do the 4-state. But
Yeah.
have to see.
Yeah, man. That's it.
That's it.